tu. Hiyo Prado niliona ikipanda kutoka juu, nikakimbia mbele yake. Kufika hapa nayo ilikuwa na mbio sana.
7 people lose their lives with several others sustaining severe injuries in a road accident along the Narok Mai Mahiu Highway in a twin accident involving 6 vehicles.
Tangu wanitoe kwa kiti, ile pombe yote mbaya ya kuua watu, Rais aliagiza iletwe hapa kwa mlima, ndio imalize vijana wetu.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua allies hit back at Interior Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo, accusing the government of failing to deal with cheap illicit liquor.
I believe the individuals who are involved in the abductions are police officers.
Plus, Kennedy Maina Wakini, who sustained gunshot wounds during the July Gen Z demo, succumbs after 5 months of seeking treatment, bringing the total number of protests-related deaths to 62.
Ikianza mwaka inakuja 2025, it's not going to be a good year for us as public health officers. Tuta mobilize, tutaitisha watu wetu wote. All our members will now down tools. Solidarity forever.
And Nurses and Midwives Union vowed to down their tools come January if the government fails to address their demands, among them shortage of nurses and failure to implement their 2017 CBA. K24 Evening Edition begins right now. I'm Alan Owino. Our sign language interpreter for this session is Mudhoni Wagaki. Now, 7 people have tragically lost their lives, while several others have sustained severe injuries in a road accident along the Narok Mai Mahiu Highway. The incident occurred when a trailer coming from Narok towards Mai Mahiu experienced a tire burst, losing control and colliding head-on with several vehicles on the opposite direction. Soon after, a second trailer being driven from Narok towards Mai Mahiu arrived at the scene at high speed, hooting, and ended up colliding head-on with the Toyota Prado, which was traveling in the opposite direction. Innocent Ogaru with the chilling details.
Monday morning, and Kenyans were once again left fearing for their lives on Kenyan roads, following a tragic accident at Duka Moja area along the Narok Mai Mahiu Highway.
Kuna trailer mbili zilikuwa zinakimbishana kutoka hapa juu, kama walikuwa wanashindana kwa hizi line mbili. So wakiwa wanashindana ni kama zilikatika break, ndio sikaleta hii ajali, unaona.
The incident occurred when a trailer traveling from Narok to Mai Mahiu lost control and collided head-on with a Toyota Premio, an Ena coach bus, and a Narok line matatu on opposite sides of the road, leading to the instant death of 2 people.
Kuna trailer ni kama ili lose control. So this trailer when you lose control ikakoja ikapita na Nissan yenye ilikuwa kando yetu, ikasonga nayo kabisa. So bahati mbaya zilikuwa mbili. Hiyo nyingine ikapita ikaenda ndio ikamaliza watu. Actually imegonga gari kama there are more than 3. Na hiyo nyingine ya mwisho ndio ilikuja sasa ikatumalizia gari yetu ya side, but we thank God sisi kwa gari nayo tulipata tu minor injuries.
In a tragic turn of events, another trailer also heading from Narok towards Mai Mahiu at high speed collided with a Toyota Prado traveling in the opposite direction as it approached the first accident scene.
Kaona hiyo nyingine ni kama alijaribu kushika breki akiona mwenzake ameanguka. Hiyo gari ilianza kuruka kutoka huko juu. Ikaruka tu. Hiyo Prado niliona ikipanda kutoka juu, nikakimbia mbele yake. Kufika hapa nayo ilikuwa na mbio sana, ndio ikapatana head on. Sasa ile trailer yenye iko huko ndio ikagonga ile Prado, ikairudisha pale, ndio ikarusha engine pande. So mimi wakati niliona imenifikia, nikajaribu kukimbia huko, ndio nikaanguka pale, ikapita nyuma yangu ikaenda hivi.
The accident has claimed the lives of 7 people, 2 dying on the spot and 5 others succumbing to their injuries at the Narok Referral Hospital. Over 20 others were left seriously injured. Police have since seized all vehicles involved in the accident and taken them to the Ntulele police station. The accident has since sparked huge concerns about road safety in the country, where nearly 4,000 lives are lost annually to road carnages. As the festive season continues, with a large number of people traveling on major highways, transport authorities have emphasized the need for drivers to be cautious and adhere to traffic laws in order to prevent further accidents. Innocent Ogaro, K24.
Quite a tragic deal. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Now, the number of those who have lost their lives as a result of police excesses in quelling the Gen Z-led protests has risen to 62. This is after Kennedy Maina Wakini, who sustained gunshot wounds, succumbed after 5 months seeking treatment. This comes in the wake of rising cases of abductions by people alleged to be security officers. David Kagina with that report.
Maina Wakini now joins the long list of youths who lost their lives as the result of excess use of force by police officers. He was shot on 16th July 2024 when heading home from school as police tried to contain Gen Z protesters in Karatina town. His death brings the total number of lives lost to 62.
As we speak, we have confirmed that the burial will be tomorrow. We just tried to speak to the family. They have agreed that we do the post-mortem today.
Khalid Hussein, the CEO of Voices of Community Activists and Leaders of Africa, Vocal Africa, has also raised concerns of ongoing abductions despite government hard stance denying involvement of security agencies.
We know for a fact that those who abduct these individuals speak openly when they're doing it, and they say they are from the government, that they are police. I believe the individuals who are involved in the abductions are police officers. And if it is not them, let them tell us, let them show us whom they've arrested that are abducting these innocent Kenyans.
According to Khalid, since the onset of demonstrations, there are families that have not been able to trace their kin, some who were taken into custody by people identifying as security officers.
We continue to document. We are still looking for 17 Kenyans who are at large. Families don't know where they are, but they were picked by unknown persons in the streets of Nairobi, Mombasa, and other towns.
Elsewhere, a family at Majengo Estate in Embu town is appealing to President William Ruto to intervene and have their son released by authorities who they suspect abducted their 24-year-old son, Billy Wanyeri. According to Gerald Mwangi, his son, a student in one of the colleges, was queuing for a shave at a local barbershop in Dallas Estate about 500 meters from their home when a double cabin, silver in color, made a dramatic stop and 4 build-up men, masked and hooded, picked and whisked him away.
Wakaendea kijana wakamchukua juujuu, wakamtupa kwa gari. Akauliza nini nimefanya? Wakamwambia utajulia bere. Those guys walikuwa mabaunza, strong guys. Wakamwambia wewe kijana ingia, wacha maswali.
Embu County Police Commander Samuel Muthamia says police have dispatched teams and are using technology under their disposal in search of the young man.
Today is on Monday. We have not received any reports on his whereabouts. We cannot be able to trace him anywhere, but we are working on that.
Kama ni serikali iko na hiyo kijana, tafadhali mimi naomba aachiliwe. Akija hata mimi ananijua, I am a disciplinarian. I will discipline him.
Sisi tunaomba serikali tafadhali turudishieni huyu mtoto tafadhali akiwa uhai.
The situation was not different in Uthiru, where Peter Muteti, an active ex-social platform user, was also abducted in broad daylight by people alleged to be security officers for posting on social media a picture that some would find to be offensive.
The men who were inside the Prado they had not masked their face. Na wakamuabduct, wakamrusha kwa hiyo Prado, wakaenda na yeye. Na inside the Prado there was a police officer who was in uniform.
There's some suspicious men aliona, ikafanya delete that post.
Police, we understand that Peter has been vocal on Twitter. Maybe he could have done wrong, but we believe there is a due process.
These incidents have sparked conversations online, with Kenyans calling for the release of those abducted, since the pattern appears to be targeting people who've made posts criticizing the government. The President and the Council of the Law Society of Kenya has called for the immediate and unconditional release of Billy Mwangi and Peter Muteti, or that they will be presented before court to answer to whatever alleged charges on account of which they are being held, as these abductions are contrary to the law.
We are not very confident that he will be able to do a better job. If anything, he is a sycophant of the president.
With the recent appointment of Kipchumba Murkomen as the Interior CS, does the non-government actors have hope in the system serving justice to those affected? David Kagina, K24, Nairobi.
Now, barely 2 weeks after President William Ruto signed the tax law amendment bill into law, the Kenya Revenue Authority has today announced adjustments in excise duty cutting across imported commodities starting December 27th, 2024. The effects of the adjustment is expected to be felt by consumers who are expected to pay more for the commodities. As Ian K24 now files, also affected our advertisements on betting and lottery.
And after a holistic
5 months after our President William Ruto withdrew the Finance Bill 2024, following weeks of anti-finance bill demonstrations which led to the invasion of the National Assembly, the withdrawal leaving the government with a revenue deficit. The Kenya Revenue Authority has today issued a notice to manufacturers and importers of accessible goods regarding the adjustment of the excise duty. Barely 2 weeks after President William Ruto signed the Tax Laws Amendment Bill, which was tabled by Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah and approved by the August House. The adjustment on excess duty is expected to increase the price of commodities affected, a situation that could lead to Kenyans parting with more to acquire these said commodities. According to the notice issued today, imported sugar will now attract an increased fee of 7 shillings and 50 cents, up from 5 shillings per kilogram. However, the new rate excludes sugar imported by a registered pharmaceutical manufacturer and raw sugar imported for processing by a licensed sugar refinery. Also set to attract 25% excess duty are imported electronic transformers, as well as imported plastics. Those importing printing ink will now pay 15% excise duty. These same charges will now apply on online betting advertisements, with imported ceramic tiles now attracting 5% excess duty. The taxman also announced an increase in the excess duty on nicotine products or substitutes intended for inhalation. According to the notice, the excess duty on such commodities has been increased from 1,594 shillings per kilogram to 2,000 shillings per kg. However, the excess duty on nicotine products excludes those manufactured or imported for health purposes, provided they are approved by the Health CS. Furthermore, KRA also announced the introduction of a 25% tax, or 200 shillings per kg, on imported plastics, which excludes such commodities imported from the East African Community Partner States, on condition of meeting the ESC rules of origin. Ian K24, K24 TV, Nairobi.
A cross-section of leaders supporting former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua have come out to respond to a statement issued by Principal Secretary for the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, Raymond Omolo, who dismissed Gachagua's allegations that the government has contributed to the distribution of fake alcohol in Mount Kenya region. In their statement, the leaders have accused Omolo of ignoring the issue and failing to address the important matters raised by Gachagua in his address on Sunday. Majibu Kisao has more.
Illicit alcohol and excessive drinking has become a major issue in the Mount Kenya region. The government is now being accused of distributing the fake alcohol and endangering the lives of its citizens. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is blaming Ruto's government, saying it is like a national bartender who forgets to ensure safety on the menu. The allegations have prompted the government, through the Ministry of Interior, to quickly issue a statement strongly denying the allegations. In a statement issued by Interior Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo, Rigathi has been urged to provide evidence for his claims to investigative authorities in the country if his intention is to protect the lives of Kenyans who love alcohol. A group of 23 leaders supporting Gachagua has come out to challenge Omolo's statement. Among the issues they want clarified is whether the government's efforts to stop the production, distribution, sale and consumption of fake alcohol were successful during Gachagua's time in office. On the issue of several companies being granted licenses to produce and distribute alcohol in the area, they insisted that Omolo needs to provide detailed explanations. A group of Luo professionals, led by former Nairobi Governor Evans Kidero, has also come out to condemn Gachagua, saying his statements were irresponsible and unwise.
The president has tried to get the Kenyans to work together, Kenya to be one nation, and all the 52 tribes to be together. And his insinuation is unacceptable.
Rigiji, the impeached deputy president, should not misuse church platforms to incite hate between the presidency and the Kikuyu community.
The conversation comes at a time when the December festivities have kicked in, with alcohol consumption expected to be on the rise countrywide. Majibu Kitsao for K24 TV.
Well, that report by Majibu Kisao brings us to a fast break right here on K24 Evening Edition. We'll be back with more in a short while.
As the sun rises, so do we, as we trust it to rise and set without any worries interrupting your day. StarTime's home solar solution with solar panels, hybrid inverter, and lithium battery, powering your